I'm really excited about today's show. My guests for today are Anthony Luzzi and Elizabeth Jones, Deacon Jones Foundation. Welcome. Nice to have both of you on. And
Thank you for having me.
I would seriously love for you to tell me what's going on in Bash Fine Art and also Deacon Jones. The cue is yours.
Well, I had the fortunate opportunity to meet Elizabeth a couple of months ago. We had a conversation regarding the foundation which she currently runs from her husband who started it with him a number of years ago. He's since passed away and she's carrying on the tradition. And when she talked to me about what really their mission statement was, I got very interested because it touched a part in my heart that's close to me, and that's providing scholarships for students in the arts. The arts, as you know, is one of the first things that gets cut in every school system. And in the past 16 years, we've watched them be decimated across the country. So providing that opportunity for children to be able to, and young adults, to be able to get involved in the arts, whatever it is, music, fine art, painting, sculpturing, it doesn't matter, I think it's incredibly advantageous to the prosperity of our country in a number of ways. I think without that, we find that there's going to be, there's much more opportunity for them to do things that aren't as prosperous for us. So I got extremely excited when she said, how would you be interested, like, to do a fundraiser? I said, absolutely. So we started brainstorming a little bit, and I picked a time period which happens to coincide with the opening of football season.
What a better time, right?
What a better time. We couldn't. Yes. And so it just took off from there, and here we are. And that show is going to take place this coming August. It'll open on the 5th of August. It will have a reception which everyone is invited. I hope you'll come and attend on the 13th. There should be a number of people there that you might like to meet. We have no idea who that may be, but I'm sure there'll be a few celebrities that you wouldn't mind rubbing elbows with. So by all means, please come. So that's fantastic. That's basically what happened. But it's been also a very pleasurable experience getting to know Elizabeth. We've spent some time together.
I've just met her. I mean, she's
she's
lovely,
a doll baby. You can't go wrong.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stay on this show.
Well, we're glad you're here. We really are.
Thank you.
So you're Bash. You just opened here in Las Vegas, Anthony.
That's correct. We opened in April of this year. I came here a little more than a year ago to sort of vet the area. We're located in the Art District, where a lot of people from Las Vegas know the First Friday event takes place. We're located on Main Street, 1009 South Main, sort of in the epicenter, if you will, of the Art District. I have had galleries for a number of years. I had a gallery in San Francisco, which I still have there. I have an associate that's operating it for me, but we turned that gallery from Bash to Smash.
Bash to Smash?
Yeah, so Bash San Francisco became Smash, and we brought Bash to Las Vegas. I'm somewhat unique in the sense that I am a true fine art gallery, and what I mean by that is that I have a stable of artists that I represent, from emerging to established, and we actually help develop their careers. We give them shows annually. I mount about 9 shows a year. You can come in and see those artists' work at any time, and we do a reception for each one of them. Everybody's always invited. You can go to our website, bashfineart.com, follow us, Facebook us. We'll be happy to do anything for you if you want to come by.
Well, you're easy to find, I'm telling you. It's a fantastic place, and I was there for the grand opening with Carolyn Goodman and all of the celebrities there, and I won.
Yeah, that's the print she won. We had a drawing,
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's an artist we represent from the San Francisco Bay Area, Robert Bowen. He's quite well known, and in this particular genre of artists, what I represent basically is a genre that's referred to as pop surrealism, and they've taken on another name also, which has nothing to do with being low, but it's called lowbrow.
Okay.
Simply as a sort of rebuttal to the highbrow art that most of those artists couldn't get into when they first started.
Right.
And now it's a whole nother story. It's really developing into a movement within the fine art. So if you want to see something unique and unusual, I highly recommend you come by and take a look at one of the shows.
That's great. I mean, just your gallery, all of the different art that you have there is just amazing.
Yeah, when we mount a group show, it's a great time to come by because you get a sort of a smattering of everything. And it gives you an opportunity to see how broad spectrum it is, because many of the artists will work a bit more dark. You know, like if you've seen some of the tattoo skull sort of things,
Right.
you'll find artists that work in that content of their work. But many of them are absolutely impeccable with their technique, their academic prowess. And when you see the way they apply it to the imagery they choose, it's remarkable. I mean, there are really a lot of good artists out there.
9 shows a year you do?
Yeah, we mount about 9 shows a year.
So that's a little over a month.
Yeah, it's about 5-week interval. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So you really do give them a chance to be able to show off their work. And
Exactly.
promote.
I was with a fellow this morning, as a matter of fact, who said to me, "You remind me of a record company." And I said, "And how's that?" He said, "Well, you know, you seem to find artists, and then you develop those artists, and you
Right.
get them out in the world, and hope their careers mature, and you find ways to produce them." I said, "Well, yeah, that's pretty much how it goes, because if you believe in an artist, and my job as the curator, director, is to have an aesthetic vision that is mine and I convey to the world that will develop an interest, hopefully, in what I see,
Right.
and then support those artists and their careers grow." So it's a mutual sort of involvement between collector, artist, and gallerist. And I always tell people the sort of model, the protocol of the gallery is
Right.
not unlike a museum. When you come to BASH, you're going to see a show that would be typically mounted in a museum, except that you have the opportunity to actually acquire this work, whereas in a museum you couldn't. So that's the
Right.
model that we kind of operate on. And it is a little different because most of the galleries here in Las Vegas are more oriented to the sort of commercial end of it, you know.
Right.
And a lot of them represent work that is good quality, but it's more interior design, decorator type
Exactly.
work.
Yeah.
And I'm exclusively fine art.
That's wonderful. So you're off the beaten path. You
Yeah.
know, we need to talk to Elizabeth here.
Absolutely.
It's your turn, my dear. We need to find out more about you and tell us all of your background and what you have going on.
Well, I'm an artist myself, not a fine artist. I'm an artist. I've been
Okay.
an artist my whole life. But my husband, Deacon Jones,
Mhm.
who any sports fan ought to know, and I started the Deacon Jones Foundation in 1997. It was initiated primarily because it was my husband's desire to be able to take kids from disadvantaged areas and give them all of the tools that they needed and teach them at the same time to give back to their community. So that there was a massive 7-year program. We took kids at the end of the 9th grade. We took them all through
Wow.
high school.
That's amazing.
We gave them mentoring and education and a ton of things. We gave them everything as if they were our own kids, really. And then
So
gave
it's a
them
labor of love,
yes,
is what you're
yeah,
trying to
very
tell us.
hands-on, very intense. And then when Deacon became ill, we raised all of our monies through special events.
Mhm.
And having all of the Hall of Fame football players and other great athletes at my disposal,
Wow.
obviously we had massive golf tournaments and massive dinners and black tie affairs, and so all of our money was raised that way. We had some great corporate angels who supported us along the way, and then Deacon did become quite ill in 2012, and the last event that we had was January of 2012, and the foundation kind of went dormant. We did take all of the funds that we had in the foundation and disperse them amongst the kids that we still had in the program.
Wow.
And when he passed away in 2013, I sold our house and I decided to move to Las Vegas, where my sisters lived for 40 years, and it was a good move for me. But I really didn't know what I wanted to do with the foundation. Deacon
Right.
had, of course, wanted me to continue it, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Fortunately, my CPA told me not to close it and hold on to it. And through a series of events when I came to Las Vegas, I did know some sports artists, but I did make contact with a couple of others, and I decided that a perfect way to raise money for the Deacon Jones Foundation and to give a tribute to the game that was my husband's life, as well as to my husband, would be through fine art. And having the good fortune to be married to, and I was also my husband's agent and manager, so
wow. So you kept it in the family.
for
This is very
35
good.
years. So the
Yes.
NFL is really my family, and I know the people at league headquarters probably better than most wives because I was his agent and manager as well. And so I've had the opportunity to see some really fine, beautiful art, but the artists who you see, the artists who are licensed to the Deacon Jones Foundation as well, they are not licensed by the National Football League. So for the most part, they stay very local. They do individual commissions. They think they're under the NFL radar when they do prints that they're not licensed to do. But there was no way that I was going to do that. I mean, I'm too closely aligned, and the commissioner is a good friend. And
So you are
did,
licensed through the
yes,
NFL.
yeah.
Yes.
I spoke to the commissioner, and he granted the Deacon Jones Foundation a license from the NFL. So I'm very blessed.
That's fantastic.
And yes, and then of course I did contact a couple of the artists whom I knew, and the minute we let the word out through the website, artists, sports artists, just even
Everybody
to now, they
started
keep flocking
coming.
to
Yes,
me.
this
Yeah,
is fantastic.
and I have to be very, very selective on who we choose. And I think that what we've been able to do is to, and I'm sure that Anthony will agree, is that we have a range of artists who do all different styles of art, so that we don't have
Absolutely. It
the
runs the
same
gamut.
thing.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I really didn't want to have 16 or 17 artists I have right now doing the same thing. I think their art is all very distinct and recognizable.
Each one is totally different. So
Yeah.
this is really going to be a great show.
It's going to be a fabulous show. I'll give you a little
Yeah.
caveat to what
Please
she's
do.
saying.
Yes.
She sent me a list of all the
Right.
images that were available to put into the show, right? And I said, "Oh, wonderful!" I said, "I'll get back to you, let you know which ones I'd like to have." So I went through and being a director, curator, I'm looking from the more artistic, aesthetic sort of approach. And so I picked out all these pieces that were really wonderfully done. Some of them were very abstract, some impressionistic, and they had color and they had composition and they had this and they had that. All the typical things that I'm looking for in fine artwork, right, that I was picking in these pieces. So I sent them back to her. I said, "Elizabeth, I went through it all. Here's the ones I think are going to be great. Why don't you send those along?" She looked like I got a call from her, and she said, "You did a great job picking. I don't want it." She was so so cordial about it. Right? She said, "You did a great job
Politically
picking."
correct.
Yeah, you did a great job of picking everything.
Yeah.
But let me just say, you represented about 2 teams. And maybe 3 of the major players. Not being an avid football fan myself,
Yes.
I thought, is that really going to be that big a problem? Look how beautiful these pieces are.
Yes, it is.
She said, absolutely.
Correct.
She said, this is football. Everybody has their favorite
That's
team.
right.
Everybody has their favorite player. And we have to appeal to everyone. I said, I gotcha. So we went back through and we revised the list.
Can you give us a hint on some of the ones that you're going to have?
Well, what I think the postcard that
Okay.
Anthony did shows, in fact, the
Okay.
one in your upper right-hand corner.
Right here?
Yes, that was commissioned by the NFL for the 50th
amazing.
anniversary of Super Bowl this
Wow.
past February,
Uh-huh.
and that is a painting that has all of the 49 MVPs from all of the prior
that is
49 Super
amazing.
Bowls.
It's
So yeah, it
wonderful.
was the centerpiece for NFL Legends event
Right.
honors at Super Bowl in San Francisco, and we had that piece. The original is 36 by 54. We had it blown up to 6 feet tall by 10 feet
Oh my goodness, that'll be fantastic.
long, and it was when you walked into the honors, the NFL honors party.
Wow.
It was front and center. It was amazing. They had us do the first ever art exhibit at the Super Bowl. So we had the entire Legends event, and there were no other exhibitors but us.
Wow.
But I
That's
think
amazing.
we're the only ones who are licensed, probably. Yeah.
So, speaking of this card,
Yes.
I'll give you a little idea here.
Yes.
This piece here is an example of Bo Jackson. Not only do we have it available in a print, but we have the original painting, which is going to be available that evening.
And we have it autographed. The
And we have it
original is
autographed
That's
by Bo himself.
Yeah.
And the same thing with this one here by Dick Buckus. So
Yes,
we
I noticed that.
Yeah, everybody picks that one up
Yeah.
right off the bat. And he just autographed the painting when the artist who created the painting was here at Caesars doing an event, and he was here signing autographs,
Oh,
so
that's
he signed the
fantastic.
painting on top of it. But the point was that there's going to be an opportunity to acquire originals along with some of the prints. We're going to have about 6 or 8 of the original paintings
Right.
also available. So that's a unique opportunity to be able to get your hands on one of the originals that's actually signed
Yes.
by the artist, I mean
And
by
we
the
do
player
only
also.
limited edition. We do 125 maximum clays, period.
Wow.
And then it's
It's
finished.
It's closed, it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't do
This is
second
going to be an
editions.
amazing event.
Oh, it's
I'm
gonna be
really glad you
spectacular.
came on the show.
Yeah.
So the event is, you want to give us the time one more time?
The event the show is actually going to open on the 5th of August, which is
Okay.
a Friday. However, the following Saturday, the 13th, is going to be the reception, which is sort of the gala affair, where you'll come and have a glass of wine and cheese and meet some people and greet others and take a look at the artwork and have an opportunity to perhaps meet who knows that could come to the event. It's the opening of the
It's gonna be fun.
season. If somebody's in town,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll stop by and say hi for us.
That's fantastic.
So come on the 13th, please.
Well, the other thing that I would really like to have you and your
Yes,
listeners know
yes,
is
we
that
would.
100% of the proceeds from the sale of this art goes directly to the Deacon Jones Foundation
fantastic.
and goes
That is
directly to our
amazing.
program. We don't have staff that's paid for. We run it out of my house, so we have really
So
no
you're the real
overhead.
deal, aren't you?
That's
Absolutely.
for
Both
of you.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
don't
the buck stops
we don't
there.
have bureaucracy and a bunch of employees and a bunch of costs.
Sure.
It goes directly to our program.
Oh, that's
And now that
fantastic.
we're into art, we're doing after school art program for we did it for both semesters at Mojave High School.
Did you really?
In North Las
That's
Vegas. Yeah.
fantastic.
And they want to do it again this year, and we want to increase the schools that we do it for. But I mean, we support and sponsor the entire program, bought all the supplies, paid the teacher, gave scholarships to 3 of the kids each semester
It's
towards
wonderful
their higher
to see that it's
education.
alive
Great.
and well, isn't it? This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you came on the show.
Thank you.
And I hope to have you back again. And I'm going to be there on the 13th, and I sure hope you will be.
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope
It's a
so.
pleasure.
Thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. And we'll be right back.